The views and opinions expressed by the Loft Party Podcast panel participants and guests do not necessarily reflect those of the Good Times with Good People Company, the host, or its sponsors.
Just not getting it.
Welcome everybody out there in podcast land. The Good Times with Good People Company proudly presents the Loft Party Podcast, where it is always about good times, good people, and good talk. Now that you've received your invitation, the best way to let us know that you're in attendance is to download the party or become official by joining us on Facebook, subscribing on YouTube, iTunes Podcasts, or Google Play Podcasts. Good. Thanks for joining us. Grab a cocktail, light a cigar, or whatever you like to smoke. Share us with your friends, and make yourself at home. I'm your host and moderator, Rio, and let's introduce today's panel. Hey out there in podcast land, I'm your host, Rio, and welcome to the Loft Party Podcast, episode 70. Well, that escalated quickly. From North Korea to Charlottesville, Virginia. What is going on? Before we get started, though, let's introduce today's panel. Of course, I have got my returning champion, Chris O'Connor. He's the owner of Liquid 9 Entertainment and Investments, as well as having interest in Reader Whiskey and Office Works. We have got Ben Roberts. He is the bartender extraordinaire here at the Pendergast Club. We've got Adrian Lewis. He is in management in the manufacturing sector, and the anonymous female, because she doesn't want you to know her name. So, well, before we started the show, we were having quite a lively discussion, and we had to make ourselves table it so that we had stuff to talk about on the show. But before we get into important things, let's get into important things. So, Ben, what are we drinking?
What are we drinking? Today we're drinking a gin cocktail. It's Rieger Gin, Italian red vermouth, a blueberry orange coffee cordial, a lavender rosemary syrup, and Earl Grey tea, and a spritz of lemon.
You know what? This particular drink, if you're going to try to make this, is this all equal parts?
No, I'm sorry. I should probably.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I was personally curious, but let me say, on first sip, I was thinking this has the most interesting flavor, but as you keep sipping, it's really good and really kind of light, great summertime drink. And weren't we kicking around a name for this?
We called it the Blue Gingham.
Yeah, the Blue Gingham. That is right. That's what we called it. That's what we called it.
Because Ben was wearing a blue gingham shirt and it had blueberry in it.
There we go. There we go.
It sounded nice and summery.
There we go. So, that's what we're drinking. And what we are smoking is a FLOR Dominicana Andalusian Bull. So, let me get my notes on it, because I want to make sure that I am not only smoking it, but I'm telling you correctly what it is that we're smoking. So, the wrapper is a kind of a striking hue between red and brown. And it actually has a pretty cool tapered shape. It's a combination of a corojo seed. It's an Ecuadorian Habana wrapper, and also a Dominican Criollo tobacco, and that's kind of a hybrid leaf as well. Kind of your first impressions is that it's bold, it's very savory, it's got strong notes of like hickory and leather. But as you keep smoking it, you'll get the spiciness of like a saffron and cumin. And it's actually kind of a tangy smoke and rather bold, which is why it's called the Bull. And that is what we are smoking. And that brings us to today's RIPs. I actually didn't even look to see if there was a celebrity RIP this week, because I felt like the victims in Charlottesville deserved to get the official RIP from the group. But if there's anybody at the table who knows of somebody who's passed away that we should recognize.
Not a celebrity, but somebody, one of the stunt people on the Deadpool set today died in a motorcycle accident.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's sad. You know, people trying to.
Yeah.
I just think it's important to mention because, you know, these people are out here trying to entertain us.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And that's a distraction from all the horrible shit that's going on.
Yeah,
And
really.
somebody died today trying to do that. So,
Yeah, trying to do that.
yeah.
So.
I didn't catch the name yet.
Yeah.
I just found out like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I definitely, our thoughts and condolences go out to that family.
Yes.
Yeah, and apparently, on a slightly lighter note, the movie business is actually pretty dangerous.
It is indeed.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, what did he break his leg or his arm?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, like, because, you know, he does all his own stunts.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he broke a bone.
he's doing,
They saw him limping
He's
from
doing,
the set.
Well, where are you going to get find this stuntman is 5'5"?
he's doing a new Mission Impossible movie. If you got hurt on the set over the weekend, so
That's why they have insurance.
yeah. Do you know he's like one of the hardest? Him and Jackie Chan is like two of the hardest people in the industry to insure because they insist on doing their own stunts.
Yeah.
And their movies are stunt based, almost all of them. So yeah. Anyway.
Yes, that makes me like him a little more.
Yeah.
This is not jumping up and down on a couch like that.
Yeah, as long as you're not talking about Scientology, I'm okay with you.
Yeah.
And
Could jump off that wall over there.
yeah. Hey, but with that, we'll be right back. Hey, you can search for the Loft Party Podcast on iTunes Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, and on our Good Times with Good People YouTube channel. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, tweet us on Twitter, and if you like the content we provide, donate to us on Patreon. www.patreon.com/LoftPartyPodcast. You can find all of our links below. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. And we are back with today's party game. So, name a TV show or movie series that you've seen every episode of. Let's start with Ben.
Well, I think the obvious hot topic right now is Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. Matter of fact, and we will later in the podcast get to Game of Thrones, but
No spoilers.
No spoilers, but so you have seen every episode of Game of Thrones, and so have I, for that matter. So is the anonymous. I know. At least us. Have you seen?
I haven't seen a single
No, we
episode.
You
had
haven't
this
seen any
conversation
episode.
because you went
Chris.
into like details about it.
I just like clips of the blonde girl, and that's the only thing.
You know she has brown hair and
I don't care what she does in her life.
Let's go with Adrian.
Power on Stars.
I've been wanting to watch that. Is it pretty good?
I love it, man.
Yeah, I know several people who are in love with Stars, and we just don't
Power,
have.
yeah.
We just don't. They're in love with Power, and we just don't have Stars. And I regret it a little more every week because I keep hearing how great the show is.
Good show. Good show. If you like gangster swag, nightclub, sex, and drugs, that kind of stuff. So.
That's
Good. Yeah, I'm finna say. I think we need to get Stars out there.
You actually just sold that show.
Right. You did a better job than 50 Cent selling the show right now. Chris?
For me, it was always Mad Men.
Ah.
I mean, I just loved the show. I thought it was so well written. It was frustrating how long it took for the seasons to come out. But that's a dedication because that took like 10 years for that stupid show to finally wrap up. But it was good.
And which is funny because what you may not remember out there in podcast land is in a former life, Chris was Don Draper. He actually made TV commercials, and so I can see you being in love with the
Love that show.
which actually I was too. I thought the writing was amazing.
Did you like how it ended?
I loved it. Loved it. Thought it was great.
And I've seen it.
Oh gosh, so many. But I saw Orange Is the New Black, True Blood,
Yeah.
Mad Men,
Yeah.
obviously Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I'll let you say the other one.
The Wire.
Yeah.
Damn and Skippy. Every episode several times.
I mean, and, other ones like, Scandal and
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you pause on Idris Elba real quick?
Another show that I think flies under the radar that is amazing is Hannibal. If you haven't seen Hannibal,
I haven't. That's another one I've heard was
oh
really
my
good.
god.
are they on their like fourth, fifth season?
They got canceled after the third. They were on NBC.
Yeah.
And they were on primetime NBC, but it didn't get good ratings because it was just too. It was an art
They had
project.
it
It was
on
an
a
art
weird
project.
night too, didn't they?
Probably.
Yeah, I thought it was
I never watched it on
bad
cable.
scheduling, had a crappy lead in.
Yeah. I watched it on
And
Amazon
nobody
Prime.
watches NBC, so.
Right.
And the originals, I love the originals.
Yeah.
And if that could have been on
Actually, originally,
HBO,
yeah.
like it would have been even better.
Hannibal. Yeah, I can see that being a HBO show.
I've seen so many HBO series, I can't even name them all right now.
Yeah.
And almost all of the, I can't say that now, but quite a few of the Netflix original series.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I mean, I love like Veep. I love all those. I can watch those all day long. I wanted to watch The Walk, but I'm a terrible binge watcher. Like once I get too far behind, I'm like, got stuff to do.
I am the classic binge watcher. Well, we are. Like, I will watch it until I can't, like, I literally can't keep my eyes open anymore. Because we have to know, like, we tend to do our Netflix binge watching in the cold months when you don't want to go outside. So
Yeah.
you just turn it on and it's on all day.
Yeah.
It's to the point where, like, the TV's like, are you still watching TV? We're going to
Wait, pops up with the question. Turn off.
We're going to shut this off now.
Yeah. Any movie series?
I mean, all the Star Warses and stuff like that. The Godfathers, all those for sure.
Pretty much anything that's...
It's easier to do movie series though.
I guess I can't say that because there's some that I'm like, I don't ever want to see another one of you again. You see the first one and it was
Fast
so
and
horrible.
Furious.
We've actually seen all of those. Seen all of those.
I love the Fast and Furious.
I know, like now it's too late. Now I need to know what's going on.
They,
It's the same thing that happened in Tokyo, just in a different city.
But it,
Pretty much.
Yeah, just cars driving fast.
I'll tell you one that Mario and I are a little bit like, we don't tell everybody, but we're going to tell everybody now, is like all the Twilight movies, just because my daughter was young when they came out. And it actually got to the point where, like, the last movie, she was like, I don't want to see it. And we were like, we have to know how it ends.
Like, you made us sit through every one of them. You're not going to now not watch the last one.
So we ended up going, like, after it'd been out for a while to matinee and watched it. But, yeah, it was, like, not very many people.
Yeah, I
know
am
that.
definitely figuring out that kids like drive your viewing habits all the way. I'm like, I'm not watching Despicables. All right, I'll sit here and watch it with you. So I know it means something to you. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't know, but
Kids
I
are
will watch
stupid,
it.
but also-
Rihanna was into all the Step Up movies. So after the third one, I was like,
When they came out with the song called "Chillin' Like a Villain," I was like, I'm out. I literally am leaving the room.
Yeah,
Not healthy for me.
Yeah, Step Up 3D. I was like, okay, look. Okay, we're,
Draw on the line.
this is a dance movie. Why is this a 3D?
Those moves up in your face.
I can't do it anymore.
yeah, we were like, please God, she's at that age where she can go with her friends now, and that's what happened.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah, we
You
were
haven't
like,
watched anything yet?
Well, my son's 19, so I'm good there. So Right now, I'm just binging or catching whatever I can catch along the way. I don't do cables. I just catch shows. So.
Yeah, I just stream everything anymore. Although it's killing me with the Chiefs. That's brutal because it's hard to find streaming that on streaming.
True story.
All right. With that, I think we'll be right back. Hey out there in podcast land, we would not be doing our duty if we didn't acknowledge the sponsors of the Loft Party Podcast, the Majestic Restaurant and Jazz Club, and the Majestic's Pendergast Club. The Majestic carries on Kansas City's tradition of great food and jazz. Let them show you why they are the classic Kansas City steakhouse experience. 931 Broadway, just 3 blocks from the Kansas City Convention Center. J. Rieger and Company, a Kansas City distillery. Whether whiskey, gin, or vodka, neat or on the rocks, J. Rieger, Kansas City, sipping good since 1887. C&P Construction, Kansas City's premier wood framers, 50 years of quality framing and craftsmanship. Just email david.cnpservice@gmail.com and start building something new today. And our friend and frequent guest, Lane Boland. Thank you all for all that you do. Time to rejoin the conversation. All right, and we're back, and here we go. Party politics. So, we're gonna try to go through these as quickly as possible because it's unbelievable how much in a week can happen.
We may not be here tomorrow.
Yeah, let's start with that. Let's not bury the lead. We may not be here tomorrow. So this actually happened a couple of weeks ago, but we covered something else on the last podcast. So this does bear to mention. Russia expelled 755 diplomats from the American embassy. And then Trump thanks him for cutting down the payroll. Even going so far as to say something to the effect of, he fired them. And I'm thinking to myself, you're an idiot. He can't and didn't fire any of these people. They're still on the American payroll. They just don't have an embassy to be at.
Yeah.
He said, you're paying them right now.
And as a guy who's bragging about how many jobs that he's created, I'm like, why are you happy that 755 people, even if it was true, just lost their job? That's unbelievable.
Spoke like a true businessman, bro. Payroll. Just save on payroll.
ADP made their job easier.
Come over here.
Okay. So, just so much fuckery. Manafort, his home got raided a few days ago by the FBI, and we were actually kind of talking about this before we started taping. So, what seems to be coming out of the administration is, this is a big nothing, and but what we were discussing is that's not possibly true. And do you want to fill in podcast land as to why?
Yeah. So in order to get a federal warrant, you have to go to a federal judge, and you have to present clear and convincing evidence that you believe at a specific location there is evidence of a federal crime that can only be discovered at this location, and you have to prove the link of why that would be a federal crime. And in such a high-profile case like this, there's not a judge on earth who's handing out to the FBI a warrant that they are not sure is not going to come back and bite him in the ass later. Mm-hmm. And so then they go to the House in the pre-dawn hours. And like we were talking about earlier, if this moron has anything sitting around, like, you are the dumbest guy in the world. Because you've known for, almost a year now that they're looking into this. Like, you have got to be the dumbest person ever. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I wonder what they got, if they got anything.
Yeah, I'm curious.
They had to have a very specific, compelling, exceptionally convincing reason for this to happen.
Yeah.
Well, is Manafort smart enough to cover all of his tracks digitally.
So this is the big thing. So my feeling is, if you didn't know this company, I would have gotten rid of all my computers, obviously.
Yeah.
But with the way the cloud backups work now and all
Yep.
that other kind of stuff, who knows where the information exists? I mean, this is what bit Hillary in the ass too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they just want to see your digital footprint, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it'll be very, very, very interesting to see. And also, I think and I don't know what the scope of the entire warrant was, but if they start going after financial records,
Yeah.
and I think that was the crux of how they got the warrant in the first place,
Yes.
was trying to follow the financial records, that would be an enormous problem. That's
Yeah.
hard to hide.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
following
that's-
the money is how they get everybody.
Well, and that's specifically the type of team that they've
they
hired
put
on for
together.
this. Yeah, that they put
Right.
together for this investigation. So I think that's specifically what they're doing. They're probably
Right.
looking for digital records that aren't maybe connected to the internet that
Right.
they can't access that way.
Yep. But why on earth are you keeping records? I'm going to just jot down
Well,
this illegal
as-
payment I just
well,
took.
as
As everybody knows,
On
you
my
know,
QuickBooks.
nothing's really deleted.
Yeah, I mean, it exists everywhere, but you can't just, for example, you can't just go after Google and say, I'm going to subpoena the, whatever data that you have in the cloud based
Right.
on him. They won't turn it over, and they fight that right and left.
That's why I
Amazon
was
fights
saying,
it
I
right
guess
and left.
depending on where he had his email hosted, it just,
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what they can find and how they can find it, but I have a feeling the feds are pretty good at this.
Yeah.
They have a little bit of
or
practice.
they know people that are good at it, yeah.
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 I would say their resource pool on this is probably vastly superior to Manafort's. So
Yeah.
you know,
I'm not going down to Bob's hard drive or
and I don't
Cupboard
think
Center
I don't think we're
and
gonna,
getting
yeah, I
it
don't
done.
think we're gonna know exactly what they have for quite a while. I think that they're just building and building and building a case until
So what they're
they
doing,
have it.
I agree. And what they're doing is the smartest thing. They're just not talking.
Yeah.
Which is what the feds are really good at, is not talking.
Yeah.
And keeping their mouth shut and going, we're not going to tell you what we have.
Yeah.
You
Well, it's not their
know?
job to tell you.
I
you
agree,
know?
and that's what a professional does.
Well, I mean, like lawyers don't tell you their entire case before they go to court.
Well, no, of course not. And it would be a violation. But in front of a grand jury, that's a completely different thing. They
Yeah.
lay out the entire case
Yeah.
in a sealed room. The defense doesn't even get to be in it. You don't present any opposing evidence. They just lay out what they think you did. You have no right to refuse it. And a jury goes, yeah, sounds pretty good to me.
Sounds feasible. Sounds pretty feasible, yeah.
Okay.
Well, isn't that supposed to be the indication of whether or not you have a strong enough case to go to trial?
Yeah, it's determining probable cause that your case is strong enough to warrant a jury trial at that point. So
It'll be interesting to see if
but
what
that's a
happens,
pretty
if
easy
you
bar to
even
clear.
know.
That's a very easy bar to clear. Winning in court is obviously exceptionally different, because then you start to get into evidentiary rules and things like that. Like
I would
can
be
you present,
interested
what
to
can you
know
not?
if they're going to have a jury trial. Like, how do you even have a jury trial?
With Manafort,
for-
you would, because he would not be
So
protected.
do you think that they would do it and they would try everybody they're investigating separately? Like they wouldn't allow it to be one big case?
If it was me, I would try them separately, only because the danger you run into when you bring too many people in at once is that there's probable deniability by them all just blaming each other, which is a classic defense strategy. You get 5 guys. This is the old mob thing. What they would do, you would bring them all in, and they go, "No, it was Paul who did it," and then they're like, "Yeah, no, it was the other Italian guy who did it."
You know, it's your turn to fall. And we'll take care of you while you're in prison.
Exactly.
But then, if you blame enough people and then you're not sure who actually did it, then you can probably.
So the jury
create
doesn't
some
have
ground.
enough to focus on.
Right.
They're too broad.
Then they get
and-
split on who actually did it, and in a criminal
I guess
case,
that
you have
makes
to-
sense.
you have to all agree.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
Civil case is very different.
It'll be interesting to see how or if it plays out.
I hope to God it does. I want to see every single one of them just go down in a ball of flames.
Yep.
It will just prove the stupidity of all of them.
Yes.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see who else gets caught up into it too. If Donald Jr. does,
Well, you know, if
does.
something happens with the Trump family, people are going to be thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
Big time.
Oh,
I
man.
mean,
Like-
they'll put Kushner out on the curb and just say,
Oh.
"We'll see you later."
Sorry. Yeah,
But the risk you run then is that they know enough to flip back on you and go, "Meh,
Well,
actually,
I don't think anybody from the
documents."
Trump circle will be thrown under the bus, but I definitely think there's going to be some people.
I think Donald Jr. could if
Oh.
he lied under oath to Congress. He absolutely would be brought up on charges at that point.
Yeah, I'm just talking.
That's a possibility.
But I'm just talking about Trump not, like, oh, it wasn't them. You need to go after this person that's not in my family,
And that's a possibility, but if that person knows anything, like a Manafort, who probably does know everything that was going on, you run an enormous risk.
Bannon is the one that I'd be even more curious about, because that shithead is just...
Well, it makes you wonder how he's sticking around so long.
Yeah.
Well, do you think he wants to have an enemy of Trump?
I think the bigger problem is I don't think Trump can get rid of him, probably because of what he knows.
True.
I mean,
That's what I
It's a two-way street there, yeah.
That's what I think. I think he just knows too much, and Trump can't kick him to the curb
Right.
easy.
So we'll just let you hang out in that one office back in the corner.
Like you don't really actually have
play
to
on the
do
internet all day.
anything. Right.
Bannon's been doing a really good job of staying out of the media. I'm really just like, you don't.
Well,
you don't
after
hear
that
anything anymore.
first clash with him and what's his name that's not there anymore, Priebus.
Yeah, but
You haven't really heard much about him since.
on the news today, though, there was a big thing because Scaramucci came out and said Trump needs to get the hell away from Bannon.
Yeah,
And that was a big story today, which is kind of a weird one.
is
Ironic.
laughable to me. It's like, wow, you had your 10 days of fame, and now you're just trying to stay relevant by stating the obvious.
Right.
Like, I don't care about you, Mooch. Get out of here.
Right.
You were a shitheel from the start. So
Yeah, he wasn't even around long enough to know anything.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I think a lot of bullshit happens minute to minute there.
Yeah, man.
I think that dude
nice.
does not want his finances looked into at all.
No.
So he's going to be really, really quiet. And he tried to sell his company, but it's still awaiting federal approval. And you don't think the president can make a phone call and go, you know what, that deal, maybe we just say no on that one. Let's pass.
Hey, what's
I
up?
thought he was selling his company though because he was taking that position.
That was it.
That was
and
the
then he
reason.
got the boot, but now he's probably super relying on that deal.
On that
to
deal,
get the
right.
cash.
See,
Yeah.
it always reminds me of a casino when he's trying to get his license. He's like, has he even applied for his license? You know what? Let's take a real close look because we might have to kick him out of town. And I think that's exactly what's about to happen to Scaramucci. Did we? I found out, and did we know that? So we do know Trump has refused daily briefings, but did you know instead of the daily briefings, he gets a daily flattery folder?
Yes.
What?
It's just all the like good press that he gets that folder every day.
Do you remember the?
Are you serious right now?
So do you remember the South Park episode where Butters was doing the same exact thing?
Oh my goodness.
He was tasked to show up with a bunch of good news.
Yeah.
That's what's happening right
That's what's
now.
happening every day. Donald Trump, and it's and it's from every half sleazy, half white supremacist site that has something good to say about him.
Yeah.
He's just like, or Fox News, like it's just like, oh,
Sean
are you
Hannity says I'm a
serious?
good guy, and I'm really good looking.
He gets his flattery folder and watches Fox and Friends, and that's how he gets ready for the day.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is just,
That's why he's so delusional and he thinks he's doing so well.
oh my god.
I do love that. I mean, that one just kills me. That's a great one.
I couldn't believe that one.
You can't even make that one up.
No, you can't even make that up.
I mean, Mr. President, don't you want any real information?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you watched that South Park episode and said,
Yeah.
that's a real good idea.
Yeah. I couldn't. Yeah, that one floored me. It wasn't unbelievable. It was just wow.
It lets you know that somebody who's in a position of that much power, one, really wants to be liked, and two, is extremely insecure.
extreme.
Hyper narcissistic.
And I
That's
don't know,
insane.
like, who, well, maybe you just don't notice it because they're not in the spotlight every day. Like, I'm sure there's celebrities that are like that,
Sure.
but it really is amazing to me that somebody could be in that position and have that
I'll say this.
You're right.
I don't know if he's getting any other briefings. I would hope so. And
he's
I
even
get the
said.
value of
I mean, I think
a PR machine that collects
yeah.
stuff that you want to put out and promote. And I get all that. I mean, like that.
But you
that's
don't
what I
want
did for a
the
living
real,
forever.
like, what's
But-
going on with the country?
And this is what I'm hoping to God.
Or
that he's
international?
getting to.
No, maybe
He
now,
doesn't get it
but
daily.
He doesn't get it daily anymore.
Yeah.
Well, Obama didn't get it daily either.
Yeah,
He didn't do daily briefings.
Yeah, I mean, but he at least.
But Obama was smart. He knew
Yeah,
what was going on.
right. He actually he kept up. Like he didn't need the briefing. He didn't need the briefing every day because he actually kept up.
I mean, he's a constitutional lawyer, for God's sakes. He knows what's going on.
One of the things that he would have probably learned from a daily briefing that he wound up learning from Fox was that North Korea was threatening to launch 4 missiles at Guam, which prompted his fire and fury comment that I also another one of those off the cuff comments that I just couldn't believe he was saying it when it was coming out of his mouth. Because it displays to me somebody who obviously has not studied the history of this conflict.
Right.
It's not that you're going to defend America. Of course you are. You're the president. I would hope you defend America. But the history of this particular conflict is all built in the rhetoric. You say mean things, they start testing missiles. And if he hasn't noticed, the more mean things he says, the stronger the missiles that they're testing. Mm-hmm. And now you're saying, if they do something, we're going to do something, and it's going to be like the world has never seen. It's going to be fire and fury. I was like, is he out of his mind? Like, does he want nuclear war? Is that what he wants?
I think his body language to me said he was completely uncomfortable saying what he was saying. I saw him.
I did.
He's completely uncomfortable talking about anything that's political. When he's just off the cuff talking about bullshit, he's all flailing and, chest out. But when he has to really be the president, he shrinks.
Yeah, he's completely insecure in that role and being that. He loves being,
he loves the title, but he doesn't want the job.
Right. No, but you're not putting this guy in timeout. You're talking about going.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
With the third country in 6 months, because you're looking at he already bombed Syria.
And if they,
that was a joint effort. Let's be fair on that. I mean, that was a joint effort on between many
maybe so,
countries.
but he got involved.
But we were involved. We were already involved.
Okay.
But we were involved already. I mean,
we didn't bomb them though.
Well, honestly, that's because we were counting on the Russians to do all of it. And we had our little spat with them, so it was a coordinated multi-country effort on that one. And I think I only say that in that it's important to be fair on these things. And I will say this, and I'm not in favor. I clearly do not want North Korea to launch these fucking missiles tomorrow. Although right before I left and came here, I just saw a headline that said U.S. spy satellites see these mobile missile launchers moving around right now, which is not cool. And at least China's come out and said, okay, don't fucking do it, North Korea, because we'll fuck you up too.
We will fuck you up.
Which is nice.
We will fuck you up. Don't think because we buy some of your shit that we won't fuck you up.
Because China would then have the obligation to fire missiles back.
They would.
That's all that would happen.
Yeah. Before it even got to us,
and
China would bomb them to the Stone Age.
Right. We were talking about that, about how China had been silent. Like everybody was like, China needs to say something, and they hadn't said anything. But they did go along with the sanctions, didn't they? I know they're not part of.
Here's the thing. And here's what's a little bit of bullshit about it. China accounts for 85% of North Korea's money. So that's nice that they agree to go along with these fake sanctions that are going to take forever to have any effect. In the meantime, over the last 30 years, we've gone down this diplomatic road several times, made many deals with them, given them billions of dollars to cut this shit out, and they keep doing it. And now it's at the point where they took 30 years and figured out how to make a bomb.
What year was, when did the Korean War end?
1948 is when it started, so it would have ended in what, 51?
51.
So
51 or
this
52.
whole time,
And to be perfectly honest, it never actually ended. It is literally just a ceasefire, is all that they have. So it never ended ever. They're technically still in
we
the
just
Civil
agreed
War.
to quit fighting and everybody went home.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we just kind of took the football and walked away.
Yeah.
You know, you're that kid. But, you know, that's because China rushed in the country and kicked our ass back beyond the 48th parallel, and we had to fight back just to get back to even. You know, so it kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And then you had MacArthur who wanted to nuke North Korea. You know, like, and Truman's like, the hell you're going to do that? That's no,
We've already been
sir.
there.
We're not doing that again.
You're not doing that
I
again.
did it myself once, so we're not going to do it again. So
I'm going to tell you, that's horrible fallout.
Interesting because later MacArthur, or actually probably before, criticized Truman for the.
They hated each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they despised
Well,
each
you
other.
know, it's easy to want something and, you know, actually when you're faced with doing it, it's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
And I think Truman knew, listen, we drop a bomb on North Korea and we have a war with China now.
Yeah.
And they have 1 billion or so people over there, and we have 200 people, 200 million in our country. There's not enough bombs, and we already just got done fighting World War II. So that's probably not the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So what are they, the second or third largest military? China.
Oh, China?
Yeah.
They've got to be the largest by far.
No, we're the largest
Now,
military.
in terms of defense, it depends on how you want to look at it. In terms of overall expenditures, we outspend everybody by.
Oh, the soldiers,
billions.
physical soldiers.
Physical
Yeah, they
soldiers,
gotta have
China
more.
would be the largest.
Yeah, they've got to have the largest.
And then
army.
you would probably have India being second.
Yeah, well,
You
I know North Korea is the fourth largest,
but
which
they used to
is
say when we went to war with Iraq, they were the 5th strongest military ever.
Well, is anybody in North Korea
38
not
years
in their military? I mean,
Correct.
like they
So-
make everybody.
I think you have to do a turn.
And so what's bizarre is then they use them as construction workers. So really what they spend most of their days doing is building buildings
What?
and stuff.
Like,
this is how
what?
they use their military.
Yeah, but I'm like, building what?
Well, they have this huge hotel that's completely unsafe because they built it wrong, and I mean all kinds
Well, I'm
of
like,
crazy
who
crap.
even goes over there?
A lot of people.
Yeah, people go to North Korea.
It's-
Why? I have no
you'd be blown
idea.
away.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, I'm finna say, Dennis Rodman goes over
He
there.
loves it over there.
He goes over there.
Like, boy,
Maybe
He
you
hangs
should
out.
live over there.
That's his friend. You know, we were looking at last week tonight, and and he was saying, "Look, North Korea. Just so you know, we know you're friends with Dennis Rodman. Please don't nuke California because Dennis Rodman lives right here." It was like, that's your friend. Don't blow up your friend.
And then there was someplace in Arizona. He was like, just don't blow up California. Blow up, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
No, it was definitely don't blow up Reno or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Reno is too important to us.
Yeah. Like if you're gonna blow something up, yeah, don't blow up Reno. Like it's all the strategic
I
stuff.
felt
Really,
bad for all the people that live in Reno.
I know that was pretty funny. But I keep thinking that if they've been able to miniaturize nukes and put them on these ICBMs, that's really scary because the range that they can hit really is anywhere from the middle of the country.
They can hit Chicago.
Yeah, and I'm like, and anything that, see, this is what I used to love about disaster movies because LA's out of here,
Yeah.
New York's out of here, but anything in the Midwest generally doesn't get touched. So now I'm scared to death because you could blow up Chicago, and if you don't know out there in podcast land, I'm from Chicago. I don't want you to blow up Chicago. I like Chicago. I still need my Garrett's popcorn fix for this year, and I can't have that happening. I'm sorry.
The one interesting thing, so apparently by all accounts, they have the ability to put a nuclear warhead onto an ICBM. The thing about it is, you hit Chicago, you have to go out of the atmosphere and back in. And nobody knows if they can actually come back in without blowing up a rocket, you know, right on entry. So
I feel like we may be able to, you know, get it back on re-entry.
Well, the missile defense system that they deployed, from what I understand, I'm not an expert on this, but if they shoot 4 missiles at the same time at Guam, we'd be able to probably knock out 1 or 2.
Well, and they said they knew that they could do 2, but they never tested 4.
Yeah, the THAAD system doesn't just not, 1, it's not the most accurate, and then 2, it's hard to shoot down missiles. It's hard as shit. You know, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But if they actually do fire those missiles,
you think we have a missile defense system in space still?
I know that we have a lot more missile defense capability than people know that we have, but only because I have a buddy who works at the DoD who tests these things out and was telling me some of the capabilities. But there's nothing that's foolproof. There's no way to guarantee safety.
Well, you think about,
and also, do you show it off? I mean, do you use it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you only use it if you need to use it.
Listen, if China sends a nuclear bomb our way, let's say this dipshit bombs Guam, and then we send a bomb back to North Korea, and then China gets mad, and then they send a bomb to us, and then you might think about busting out like the real hardware. And no offense to Guam, I mean, Guam's awesome, but I mean, I don't know if you're busting it out for Guam necessarily.
You're busting it out for the mainland, though.
Yeah,
you are definitely busting it out for
probably, then you're breaking out your real guns.
Yeah, man.
So it's kind of like what's acceptable collateral.
Yeah, collateral damage. Yeah.
The other weird thing is
before you really show
their statement
the
just
might you
said,
have.
in the middle of the month we're gonna do it. And so Trump all of a sudden said, on August 15th you're gonna bomb us. So he picked a day.
Well, that's the middle of the damn month, Chris.
I mean, like, the middle of the month is from the 10th to the 20th.
Yeah, look, nobody wants to hear about anything getting bombed on payday. Stop.
That's payday.
Stop it. That is payday. Stop it. Nobody wants to hear about any bombs on payday. People want to be happy on payday. They want to go to the bar on payday. They don't want to go to the bar for their last drink on payday. That's some bullshit.
Well, you be having fun, living it up. Hey, this is going to be our last payday.
But yeah,
screw the bills.
Hey, look, if you know the bomb's coming and you know there's nothing you can do about it, you go walk into your favorite spot and go, drinks on me! Because who's gonna collect? Who's gonna collect it?
Everybody getting top shelf today.
You ever seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
No, but I have heard so many people talk about how
well, one of the opening scenes, the I don't even know how to say. I'll just say the aliens.
right.
They're like huge ship is about to blow up Earth to smithereens, and there's a couple people, and they're like the only 2 people on the whole planet who know it's about to happen. They're in a bar and they're like pouring up a ton of beer and stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, the world's gonna end in about 10 minutes. They're like, well, what do we do? I don't know. Drink. It's like, should we put a bag over our head?
Yeah.
A bag over your head? Like, what's that?
What's that?
Helps,
Yeah, if it helps, I guess. But what's that gonna do?
It's like the old drills in school when you have to go in the hallway and cover your head or get a mask on. This is doing nothing. This is just going to
Right, exactly. Right, it's just gonna crush my arms, then my head.
Right.
Yeah, you're just not going to see it coming.
I was on that plane once and they're like, we are going to crash. We are crash landing in Atlanta. We found an airport. And like, just duck down and cover your head. And I was like, that is going to be way worse for me. I'm just going to watch out the window.
Yeah.
You want to see the earth coming quickly?
Oh my God, I don't want to have my head down and have it break as soon as it hits the seat in front
Remember
of
the deal
me.
in Fight Club where he was talking about how you know why they give you oxygen? Oxygen makes you happy.
Man. Yeah, I forgot about that actually. And I love that movie.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have to go a little deeper.
Oh God.
So, okay, so I'm looking at TV this morning, and the guy who set up this protest in Virginia is, repudiating all of the violence, and all I could think was, what kind of fucking idiot are you? You invited every white nationalist group in the country. You didn't think there was going to be a problem?
Does he know what the far right means?
Yeah, I can't believe this got out of hand.
You
They actually were
organizing a far right rally.
Yeah, they were showing the footage, and people were doing the Nazi sign, and right there in broad, bright daylight.
Did you expect?
I'm how could you not have known this was going to turn out bad? You know, and
these people do mental gymnastics like we've never seen before. It's just insane. Like, I mean, there are these pictures coming out on the internet of people that were at the rally, you know, as supporting in the white nationalist movement, and then they get blown up on the internet, and they're like, "Whoa, this wasn't about hate," and they're visibly angry, doing Nazi signs and shit. It's like, are you fucking kidding me, man?
Because it gives you courage when you think that you're anonymous.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's on a whatever social media, digital device. When my daughter was young, we always called it keyboard courage.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to stand face to face with somebody. Mm-hmm. But when people are actually looking and pulling people out of the crowd. Yeah, it's a little bit harder to justify that to your neighbor who could very well be, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So did you see the dude who started the Facebook page that literally is just ratting out every single person?
It says yes. It was like yes, you're racist.
Super awesome. You didn't know you were racist.
Saying, if you didn't know, you're a racist. You know, okay, so before we go on to talk about the asshole who plowed down all the people with the car in Virginia, I have one question. And this question is to anybody out there who's been a rabid Trump supporter.
That's nobody at this table.
Well, nobody at this table, but somebody out there in podcast land might be. And here's my question.
Today, nobody at this table.
Yeah, today, right. Yeah. But here's my question. Now do you understand why the left has been saying that the Trump supporters and the right are a bunch of racists? This is the reason. Maybe you personally aren't. And this is also the reason that people don't understand how, if you're not, you still align yourself on that side of the fence. Go ahead.
How can they not see that as soon as something like this happens, Trump doesn't even immediately come out and condemn it, and then he basically has to be forced to do so.
Yeah.
This dude hates CNN more than Nazis.
Yep. I mean, it's
tragic.
It's mind-boggling that...
and it's terrifying.
You know, I did get a call from one of our frequent panelists, and he wanted to be here, but he also wanted to weigh in on a couple of things. So I'll throw in what I can remember from our conversation, because of course that was early this morning. But one of the things he did talk, we were kind of talking about before the show here, we were talking about some of the statues and being moved, and he actually did echo some of what we were saying. You know, you can't erase history. You have to figure out another way to contextualize them or put them in a museum or something, which I was glad to hear. We didn't get a chance to talk directly about just the racist things happening, you know, at this racist rally, because it was a rally for racists. I mean, come on.
It's not really like a Shriners parade.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you see the story about the guy who got beaten with poles in a parking garage right next to the police station in Charlottesville?
we did see that this morning. Yeah, I did see that this morning.
Yeah, across the street.
I mean, it's.
Well,
He had to have stitches. He got a broken tooth and a broken wrist.
Or does anybody remember the name of the guy with the car?
I don't even.
I've kind of personally blocked his name out of my mind just because I
remember the face.
Yeah. It's like I just remember, which we were talking about before we started taping, that he wasn't even a Southerner.
No, he's from Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, I'm just like, and
Well, that's why he got.
Well,
that
I think
shit.
they're coming up with a case for him saying he's schizophrenic and.
Well,
High school teacher
they went back and even talked to people that he was in school with and how.
So his teachers.
One of the classes he took, they had to go to Auschwitz,
Oh, really?
and he was walking through it saying, "This is where the magic happened."
Yeah, he was infatuated
and-
with the German military.
Yeah,
he didn't
like,
even make
he
it. He joined the military,
identified-
didn't make it to basic training, all kinds of stuff.
Like,
Because he was crazy.
you
You just look at the dude. And
I hate to just broadly stroke people, but this is a classic case of somebody who was already unhinged, and the loserdom just kept falling on his head like bricks the older he got.
Yeah.
Until he went full loser, and now he won't have his freedom and possibly not his life if they give him the death penalty.
James,
Can he get the death penalty?
Why do they always? Well, I mean, technically, it's premeditated murder.
Nah, they charged him with second-degree murder.
Why do they always use the
You would-
three names of people when they do horrible things? But
Oh, yeah.
James Alex Fields Jr.
Because all crazy people have three names. I mean, it's really weird. It's
I
just
have three names. I'm not crazy.
You don't actually go by your three. There's only one person that I know personally that actually goes by his three names, but that's because he's an actor, and it helped differentiate him.
Might be a SAG thing too.
Yeah. I think
David Allen.
Greer?
He does.
Well, yeah, but that not who I'm talking about. Although his name is David as well. But other than that, I don't know anybody who's not crazy or have murderous tendencies.
Mark David Chapman.
That actually goes by all three names.
They all have their names. John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah, like keep going back. It's like every insane murderer is identified by the three names.
He has a history of violence though, because it looks like on here like he threatened his mom with a 12-inch knife. He smacked her in the back of the head and locked her in the bathroom. One was in 2010, one was in 2011.
Oh, so he's a good boy.
He was on medication to control anger.
He's obviously off his meds.
Hey, I never know what to think about the mom in this situation, because I saw an interview with her and she's like, well...
She said, I try to stay out of his political
I knew he was
views.
going to Virginia, but I didn't know why. I just thought it was a Trump rally.
Yeah. Well, guess what? It kind of was. It kind of was, especially since David Duke came out and said, "Yeah, we're here because we elected Trump to office." And I'm like, "Oh, good God, this is going down here." And then, of course, as we were talking, Trump was lobbed the hugest softball in the world and fumbled by not rebuking any of these white nationalists.
He blamed both sides, right?
Yeah, well, he says many sides.
He didn't fumble. He ran on the field without the ball.
I'm like, good gravy.
Wow.
I'm like, how is it possible to get lobbed something that soft and you still and not just like fumbled it, he just looked at it and hit the ground. He didn't even like reach for the ball. I was like,
You know how you see those pet videos where people throw treats at the pets and it hits them in the face and bounces off?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
Sun was in my eyes on that one.
Hitting it in the face and it just...
I like that. So in his ass. I don't know.
You know, before the podcast when we were talking, I don't think either one of you were here yet, but we were talking about Anonymous hacked the website.
Yeah.
And GoDaddy told them they had 24 hours to move their site.
Yep.
And I just was reading while we were sitting here that Google denied the application to move their site to their platform.
Oh, thank God.
And GoDaddy actually was hosting their website too.
I mean, it's
so.
going to end up on a Mac Mini in somebody's closet somewhere. The Time Warner doesn't shut up there.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen.
Man, this week got out of control really fast, and once again,
Every time we think it can't get worse, it gets worse.
Absolutely.
When really, when the bar is just to go, I'm not a big fan of the Klan and Nazis, and you can't come out with that message.
Yeah.
That's stunning. That is an all-time low. That's an all-time low.
The question is now, I mean, after everything from January to this point now, well, I mean, before this weekend, weekly the question was, what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
And, you know, we've been so focused on the Russia thing. Mm-hmm. Now there's something that happened like right in front of our eyes. We can see it, you know, live and in living color. And then your opportunity to actually unite people further divides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, it's almost, you're at a loss for words. You have no idea what to say. It's like, okay, we're really in this on our own. Like the government, besides those who are behind the scenes doing whatever they're doing to try to get him out or try to get Pence in to become president, whatever the case may be, the question for the people is, what do we do?
Yeah.
Well, and I think maybe the greatest part of that entire thing you just said is he was given a golden opportunity to unite the country around something everybody already agrees with. This is the easiest thing to say.
We went to World War with Nazis.
Yeah,
that's easy. We
easy.
beat them.
Yeah, right. We beat them. It's easy. This is easy. Like, I mean, look, this is a pass fail. Like you don't even need to get graded.
Answers to the test.
right. You got the answers to the test. You had the cheat code. All you had to do was say
unlimited lives.
All you had to do was say, nope, don't like those guys, and actually, really. Thank you, but no thank you for your support, right? You know,
he's not my cousin. Not my cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
Not my cousin.
Right.
You know, I mean, you know, which is funny. That's a game black people play all the time. Is you see somebody really ridiculous looking on the street, and you be like, "That's your cousin." No, that's not my cousin. That's not my cousin.
Not come to the barbecue. Not come to the barbecue.
Not invited. He's not getting none of my ribs. I don't know who that is.
I was watching. I was watching CNN today, and I really like Gloria Borger a lot. I think she's pretty smart, and she said maybe I think the best thing about it, which is there's moments that just test your moral character, and you want to know that your president has a moral compass and a moral center. And for your first and only reaction to not be, this is ridiculously wrong.
Right.
Actually says more about your moral character than anything else. You can say whatever you want on Monday. This is the easiest thing in the world to go, don't like the Klan, don't like Nazis. That's all you have to say.
Yeah.
That pretty clearly defines your moral character.
Yeah. Right
there. And to not have said it probably speaks more volumes about what he really does think and what he's unwilling to do than anything else.
But can anybody really, truly say they're surprised? Maybe disappointed or upset. But
I'm blown away.
During his campaign,
true.
the same exact stuff happened. Maybe not on this
He's
scale.
gonna make bail
And
money.
they specifically said, "Are you against the KKK?" And he refused.
Right, and then in fact, and even tried to go, I don't know who David Duke is.
So
have you been alive for the last 70 years? Of course you were. Right.
But I'm disappointed that having become president, that he doesn't speak for the entire country. You know,
I agree. That's why I'm blown away by
it doesn't surprise me though, because everything that he did during his campaign, he's still doing now.
Very true.
In my mind, it actually stuns me for this reason. I mean, if you've had the kind of presidency that he's had, and you're given this sad but amazing opportunity to kind of resurrect yourself politically and maybe try to do one good thing. And you're still an asshole, even with the general who's now in charge and all this other stuff. You don't think the general's sitting there going, "Hey, dipshit, get out there and say you don't like the Klan and Nazis. That's all you have to do." And he still doesn't do it.
But I think that goes back
You're the
to
president.
what Adrian said. He is uncomfortable with being the president.
Yeah, I
He
think,
doesn't.
I mean, it's a great point.
I think the idea of running, which is why he keeps having freaking campaign rallies for office he already
Well, I think
got.
that's his flattery folder.
Yeah, like he loves the adulation and the prestige that he holds the office. He doesn't want to actually do this damn job.
But given that,
I hope
mean,
they
if
do not put his portrait in the White House.
I hope it is.
Oh like when he gets impeached, and I know we've had that question on the podcast before, but now more than ever, I believe he does not make it through. He does not make it through this term.
I mean, when Marco Rubio's calling you out, you know that you completely fucked up because that guy's crazy too. But I mean, I just am baffled. I really am baffled that with everything that's happened, if you are the president, and you really do get a flattery folder every day, what do you think's going to go in there?
Exactly.
I mean, it's like the president comes out and says the Klan and Nazis suck really bad. You're going to get a ton of stuff. Your folder's going to be this thick.
Exactly.
It's so easy.
Exactly.
I can't remember either. I wish I would have kept it, but I read that either a group of people or somebody was suing him because he started blocking Congress, like people from responding on his Twitter. Like he started blocking people from it.
But you can't sue the president.
And I can't remember the whole article.
Yeah,
But
it'd be
was-
interesting to know. I mean,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
can't sue the
just.
president.
But
like,
it's his personal Twitter, so they can.
Well,
do
there-
whatever they
yeah, 'cause
want.
there
He's
is
not
that-
using the official White House Twitter.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of
But there-
which is why I've always felt like he just needs to get off of Twitter, because
I think that's universally agreed upon.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody thinks, get the hell. My dad's 80 years old. He's staunchly Republican. He's like, God, I wish you would stop tweeting.
yeah,
This is the dumbest thing
just
in the
get
world.
off of Twitter. I mean, well, one, because you keep saying amazingly dumb shit. So, but two, like I say, now you start to get into this kind of unprecedented territory where people are, there's never been a platform in which a president could block citizens from talking to him. And now that there is, he's doing that.
Yeah.
And no, not on the official White House Twitter, but anything you say is official presidential record, whether it's White House Twitter or your personal Twitter, because you are the president. So it just...
Well, he thinks it is. I mean, he thinks he made a law by putting out on Twitter that transgender people can't be in the military anymore.
Yeah.
And he thought that actually was like a rule.
Yeah.
Just because he tweeted it out, that just became the rule at that point. Like, that's not actually how it goes.
That's how you call it. That's how you pass legislation, bro.
Yeah, that's how you pass it. Yeah, because I do remember on Schoolhouse Rock, that's what they said.
Exactly. Tweet it out.
I'm a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. I've been tweeted out to Capitol Hill. It's ridiculous.
We didn't even talk about that, but there's 11,000 transgender people in the military. And at a time when we need people in the military,
Well-
because it's not super fun right now.
But the military came back and said,
she was like, dude, they do a great job. Are you kidding me?
yeah, they were like, we don't agree with this, and
Yeah,
we're not taking our orders from Twitter.
Right.
Well, not all came out and said. Some actually do agree.
I mean, I think some do agree, but nobody's going to unilaterally go in and just change.
The head of the Joint Chiefs said, we're not doing jack shit until we get an official clarification on what the hell this means. And we already have a study going on that's not even out yet. And by all accounts, the study's going to say they're doing a great job.
Right.
I think the biggest problem that people have is they don't want to pay for the surgery.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know, but other than that, I don't think anybody gives a shit if transgender people are in the army. Have at it.
Hey, look.
If you got a gun, I can kill
I think it boils down to when
when
it comes down to actually defending the U.S., you can't make a decision as a now transgender man that, hey, I'm gonna go back to being a woman or
whatever.
I think some feel like it's some sort of mental illness.
Well, they have to undergo all kinds of psychological tests before you're even allowed to proceed with the very beginning of the operations.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something somebody undertakes lightly or easily, and regardless of what other people think about it, I mean, that's a dramatic decision to be making. And I get some people going, listen, I don't want to pay for it. I'm like, okay, I mean, that's fine. I can kind of see that side of it because it's expensive. But to say you're not going to be allowed to serve in our military when these are just people who want to protect and defend their country, are you out of your mind? Anybody who wants to protect their country, I'm like, totally I'm bored.
Look, if Klinger can wear a dress, I don't care what you're doing out there. Look, if you know how to focus that weapon and point it at the enemy, I'm okay with it.
Done deal.
And with that, we'll be right back. Hey, you having a good time? Let me introduce you to a couple of my media brothers. First, www.americathemixtape.com, a cipher on American politics, society, and culture. And where'd I get that mixtape? Of course, www.cornerbodega.us, purveyors of urban culture. Come on, let's get back to the party. All right, and we are back, and we are back with today's sugar honey iced tea. Before we get out of here, of course, the sugar honey iced tea is those things that either I or a member of the group have found that are really cool, aka the shit. And this week's sugar honey iced tea is, which I did say we were going to get back to Game of Thrones. Because this week's sugar honey iced tea is Jon Snow putting his pimp hand down on the show. It was the greatest thing to see when
we knew it was coming.
Yeah, we did know it was coming, but this was personally gratifying for me to see him actually do it and say it to Mother of Dragons, and she was like, I did not give you permission to go. And he said, I don't give a goddamn what permission you gave me. I'm a king. I was like, yeah, say that shit. Like, you don't just be telling me what to do. And then, which was actually fun. Well, that's what I was saying when he said it.
He did say that.
Because it needed to happen, and she didn't actually say these words, but just like you say, you can see Trump's body language. I can see the body language go, okay then, John. See?
For those of you who don't watch Game of Thrones, Jon Snow is probably the most beloved character on that entire series.
Yes, he is.
More than the blonde girl?
More than the blonde
Yes.
girl.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, you have to watch it.
He
and
actually said that to the
understand.
barber.
Because he is a pretty awesome character.
Yeah, it's
He's an all-around good guy anyway,
Yeah.
in general, in real life.
and well, okay, so, and actually Ben and I talked about this one day. The Game of Thrones book series is called Game of Thrones: The Song of Ice and Fire. You know, so it's about these two eventually getting together some kind of way, you know. And
He's from the north where it's very cold. She's the mother of dragons.
so it's all, you know,
Been where it's very hot.
and so
Ice and fire.
and but to see him do the one thing that only
He
one
could do.
other guy has ever done to her, and that is completely man up, you know. And it was good to see, because the only other person that ever did it, and the only other man she's had complete respect for, was her late husband, who was the king of the Dothraki. And
You don't need to go into that much detail.
yeah, but he was a man. in the situation with her, and she had a ton of respect for him over time, and every other man that she's come across has had to bend the knee because she is the queen, and to see him go, nah, I ain't got to do a goddamn thing. I'm a king. I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
That's like Shaft.
You're right.
It really is.
Damn right.
It really is a good series, and I believe it's on Amazon Prime now.
It is.
So
I would check it out. Way
you-
too far behind.
You would have you're not. You would have to, if you watch the very first episode and you don't fall in love with it, I would be shocked.
All right, I'll check.
I mean, it is.
That's our homework.
Yeah, that's
Right. There you go.
I mean, plug for HBO and Game of Thrones, but I mean, it really, from the very first episode, you're like, oh my God, you've never seen a series that will go to the places that this one goes to.
Yeah.
Ever.
It is the best thing on television.
Yeah, I mean, they're from, well, like I said last time we talked about it, you have to be okay with a lot of gore, a lot of violence. You know, it doesn't always treat
It's just
women
binge-watching
and
bother you.
people and women definitely.
Particularly, yeah.
Oh, it's
it-
not a PC show.
No.
It's definitely, I mean, it really, if you think of how people were in medieval times, that truly is kind of how this is. I mean, it doesn't tell you it's medieval, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know, they're in armor all the time. They're fighting for kingdoms. There's so many subplots and it's so intricate, but the first episode alone, by the end of it, we were like,
Yeah,
I
we
never
were-
saw that coming,
Yeah,
and
we
oh my
was-
God, like they really are willing to go where I've never seen a series go before.
Hey,
I'm
look.
okay with gore and keeping women down. That's fine.
Well,
Look, at the end
That's
of the day.
another podcast.
Look, at the end of the day, no big spoilers out there, but if you're even interested to see what happens when somebody's just tired of a conversation and bashes somebody in the head with a hammer, then you should
Like a
probably
medieval hammer, not
yeah,
like
not
like a hammer and nail hammer.
Yeah, not a hammer and nail hammer, not a hammer and nail hammer. We're talking like
A war hammer.
hammer of Thor, hammer in the face. If that even sounds remotely interesting to you, then yeah, you should probably go and check out Game of Thrones because it's pretty amazing. But with that, I'm going to end this podcast in a way I end all podcasts, and that is with the toast that started it all for me, and that is to good times with good people.
cheers.